You guys probably know that there is no more Pro 2 editor, so I have to come here in the basement of OVTech to borrow their Pro 2 to do a show file. Please, Midas, give us an editor back. Okay, now that I got 2 copies of my show on a USB, it's now time for me to go pack my stuff and go to the airport. The plan for today is to leave Montreal, YUL, go to Saint John, take a plane again from Saint John, and we will be at our destination for the week.
Bienvenue à Saint-Pierre-et-Miquelon.
After checking in at the hotel, me and the band grabbed ourselves into a couple of cars. We then head down to the local radio station where the band gave a 45-minute interview to promote the show that is 2 days from now. The plan for the rest of the day was to go relax at the hotel. Everybody wants to really enjoy some time off on this trip. I spent this morning walking around Saint-Pierre-et-Miquelon, watching beautiful architecture. I mean, it's really unusual for me. Seeing street signs that I've never seen before or only in movies, car plates that look nothing like the one in Canada or the States. It's definitely different for me. Once I came back this morning, I went to do a little nap. Did a 2-hour nap because I'm really tired. I'm like on vacation right now and my body really feel on vacation. So enjoy the vacation. Now the band has left for the venue. They will have access to the gear a day prior to the show. So they will, set up everything, look at the amps, guitar, provided upright bass that we're gonna have. And I'm on my way to go meet them. Now let's go see what's happening at the venue. Just to be clear, this is rehearsal day. I'm here just for fun and taking shots, but nothing serious gonna happen, okay? Like right now. So we just finished line checking everything. Now it's my time to shine. Setting up the PA, I'm gonna have a stereo stack with a mono sub, so I'm gonna use a left, right, and mono from the Midas to do my thing. All I need to do now is figuring out my AS50 port, and once that is done, I'm gonna EQ a room. I'm using basically Back in Black from AC/DC and When the Party's Over from Billie Eilish. It gives me a good representation of what's happening in the room. I'm gonna put those songs, I'm gonna go around in the room and see if I hear anything weird happening, any phasing as I'm walking through, or if it's really brighter at the front than it is at the back. I always try to make sure that in the sweet spot it's not too bright, or at the front it's not ripping your head off with volume. So I'd rather have a mix that is too dark at the console and not destroying your ear at the front. Of course, there is too much sub at the front of the house. I will have to live with that, but it's always worse to have brighter frequencies at loud volume than lower end frequencies, so it will be the compromise that I will do for today. We're gonna have too much sub at the front of the house, and I'm probably gonna try to go easy on my end because I'm also in front of a desk that's also cutting frequencies. So I will do my best to not mix too bass heavy at the console, so the whole room, it will be actually the best I can do for the whole room, not mixing for myself. I'm mixing for people that paid their tickets to see the band, not myself. I'm here to please them, not just me. So I just finished EQing the PA. I did a couple cuts. They seem really worse than they really are. A couple of 3 to 6 dB cut at certain frequencies that are really bouncing around in that room. So the only thing that I need to do now is to align the PA with the band. In smaller room like that, what I usually do is I go on stage and I measure the distance of the snare, which is the thing that will probably do the most noise on stage. So I measure from the snare to the front of the PA and I delay the whole band for that amount. I could do it input per input, but it's like a real pain. So I'm using the construction sheet from the floor. So I don't know if you can see it really well on the camera, but there's a line right there that will give me 4 feet. So it's gonna be 4 to here, 8, 12, 16, and about a foot. So I will delay the tops here 17 feet, and I will delay the sub a little more because it's like sitting in front of the PA. So probably gonna go to 20 for the sub. Gonna try that, see if it's in phase with the top, and it will give me a more easier time dealing with the sound on stage because everything will leave the stage at the same time, being catch up in time with the PA, and do not create phasing issue with the snare and maybe a little bit with the guitar amp, but I can probably live with it a couple feet there. Or if not, I'm gonna ask the guitar player if he can back his amp up on stage, and I should be fine and everything should be on phase, and I will have a good time mixing the band. Before I go to the green room that is in the back of the stage, I will walk you guys to the setup that we have on stage. Missing a SM58 here. Also SM58 at the front for Cat. Sebastian on bass, also doing back vocal, is gonna have a 58. Guitar amp wise, M160 here. A Beta 56, which is basically like a Beta 57, and the upright bass is just a pedal board that is not here yet. On the drum, we have, you probably guessed it, we have the Bayer Dynamic D71C in the kick. On the snare, we have the TG D58 or 57, I never remember, but it's basically the same mic, same capsule, just one is right angle and the other one is a gooseneck type. 604 on the tom and the 902 on the floor. I'm really happy with the 902 on the floor. Give me a lot of low hand. And overhead, we have the AKG 451B. So great pair of overhead there. Monitor wise, we have the NX15 and NX12. On the bass, we have a 15-inch one. Cat at the center has got two 12 inches. Chris on the guitar has got a 15-inch for him. On the drum, it's also a 15-inch. And Mario at the sax has a 12 because he doesn't really need a lot of low end. He's right next to the bass amp, next to the drum. He's probably gonna want more higher frequency. I try to play around as much as I can with the monitor that I have to please everybody, and also something that make sonic sense for them to use. And behind the curtain is the green room. That's where I'm gonna spend the next hour waiting for my band. Eating baguette. On va faire ça bien vite. Donne-moi kick snare half, square beat. Puis si tu slaps, voir. déplacer. Je vais vous laisser placer des wedges, puis je vais faire mes petites affaires de mon bord. I finished sound check, and I'm gonna show you guys everything that I've done during the sound check, but I cut down on the video filming because I had a hard time. I'm faced with a couple problem here. I have a decent sounding system with the RCF, absolutely no problem at all. I got the Pro 2, no problem at all. Stage is loud, but not overly loud, but without the PA, I'm reaching 90 dB. For like an old rock and roll show like that, I want to go lower in volume or as low as possible, so I end up really dealing with the stage volume, putting up what's missing, so a little bit of guitar, upright bass, vocal, and I fight my way kind of with the stage, and the room has a natural slapback that fighting against me. Right now I'm between show and sound check. I think I'm gonna be fine, but I really need to start the show trusting what I'm gonna do. I'm human. Sometimes I have, you know, bad evening or bad sound check, and I need to overcome that. I feel a little bit stressful, but I'm sure I'm gonna be fine. It's just, you know, it's a good stress that I need to deal with. We're not superhuman. I'm just a sound engineer that's gonna do the best he can, and my goal is to push the show forward, push the artists up front. They're gonna give the best they can, I'm gonna give the best they can, and if it's not perfect, it's gonna be fine. We'll see. Let's take a look at what happened during the sound check. Surprisingly, right, my stage box really hot here today. I don't know why. I'm pushing all the gain really high, more than usual. It's a DL251, but I end up pushing on a lot of things. Bass drum, a dip in the low mid, a little bit less attack because I don't want to have that kick too clicky. Compression wise, not much happening, a dB or 2 compression. About the same thing for snare top, a little bit of compression, a little bit of boost. I'm boosting the low mid a lot on it because I'm not putting the snare really loud in the room, so when I push it, I have the natural snare and I just give it some, you know, pushing some fat on it. After that, I have a tom, a floor tom, not really using those. Overheads are definitely down. I EQ'd the bass a lot because I'm having a slapper on the bass. It's a passive pickup that has low end but a lot of high end, so this is why I had to cut all that. So I'm also dealing with the amp on stage. I need to round off thing here so I can push some mid-range and some low end in the PA, in the subs. After that, guitar wise, well, it's an M160 on a guitar amp, so absolutely nothing there, just a lot of volume. Moving on to the second guitar that's been canceled between the show and the sound check. I'm going to use the second mic, which is a Beta 56 on the guitar cab, so I'm just going to push it just for fun and also for recording because we're recording the show. Saxophone, we have an ATM 35. I just did a couple cut on the sax itself, not much going on there. And compression wise, threshold at 0 dB, 2-to-1 compression, and I try to compress like a dB or 2, but not much. Lead vocal, I think that 58 has done a lot of shows. It's a little bit dead sounding. This is why I'm pushing a couple dB in the higher frequency there, but other than that, that's about it. Compression, also the same thing, maybe up to 6 dB of compression on the vocal. I'm running the gain fairly hot on this one. I'm running the gain at plus 40, which is a little more than I usually do. Usually plus 30 is enough for a 58. Kind of the same thing for the vocal. I just like EQ them a little bit for the player and writing the gain closer to 30 on the other ones. In the effect rack is a reverb, the plate reverb, that is the usual -1, so I'm running that. I used to have a slapback delay, but that was cancelled, so not needed here. I don't use that multi-band compressor in the end, I just didn't need it. So that's basically it for my before show, and yeah, we'll see. What's up, guys? Editor Me here. As you can see, I'm wearing a different black shirt. I don't know if you guys noticed, but for this vlog I was using a different setup. Usually I'm carrying around my GoPro gimbal with the GoPro on it, and because I was traveling a little bit further than usual, I only had a backpack with me. I decided to go with just my phone with a friend's gimbal, and I was using an app that I don't really use. So as you can see right there, instead of filming the end of the vlog like I usually do, I film myself doing a time-lapse video. Sometimes you have to fight your way through a show and you end up with a good one, but it's not as easy as the other one. Comments from the crowd were good, so after that, I mean, it's just my personal opinion of where I wanted to go versus where I went with the show, and I'm always the hardest client to please at the end of the day. On that note, if you like the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up. If you want to support me in what I do, become a member or a super member. Also, make sure to join me with the rest of the subscriber every Monday at 1:30 p.m. For a live stream. This is where I talk about what happened during my week, and I answer a question of people about live sound, the wing, and anything else that can make sense that we can talk about on this YouTube channel. Until the next one, I want you to please take care of yourself, and I'll see you later.